What is up and welcome back. Today we're going to look at a match from my locals. Actually, today we're gonna look at the finals from my last locals. I've decided to pick up Snake Eyes Azamina, and we're probably gonna have a look at that deck quite a while on this channel. So yeah, strap in. I hope you're ready for the next couple of weeks to be me looking at my own gameplay more or less, and taking a look at the, well, what I think is the best deck of the format. Without any further ado, let's get right into the match. So here we're getting the die rolls. My opponent says, you know, you can go first. I roll a 9, was pretty happy until my opponent rolled a 9. I roll 2, and my opponent, just for style points, rolls with 1 die and rolls a 2 and rolls the 3rd. Anyway, my opponent decides to go first. We draw 5 cards each here, and we are right into the game. Also, by the way, I found out a way to have a timer on the live stream. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Anyway, our opponent starts off with fusion deployment. I say, sure, fool us. My opponent says, okay, and I says, I have another one for you. And he's like, ah, that sucks. So he's looking at his Guangguagong, shows it to me, and lets me draw 2 cards. Can't really complain about that, can you? Summoning out the Cartesia, drawing 2. Normal summoning out the Aluba. Searching out the branded fusion, no reason to negate this. If we have a way to stop the fusion. And we fusion here, we say Ash. I was considering drawing another 2 cards, but you know, if you can stop the opponent from playing, it's better than having, well, all the cards in your hand. And also here we can see my opponent is on Super Poly. I did not know that until, well, I played the game. Kind of interesting. So we're going Cartesia to fuse. Kind of surprises me, honestly. I was not expecting my opponent to keep playing into the Bubulus. And I am really considering this. So I'm stopping the Cartesia summon. And my opponent goes for Nadir. Oh right, it was not the Cartesia summon, it was the... Or am I... Did I look away for too long? I don't want to go back. But anyway, we stopped the fusion summon at least. So we go Nadir Servant to search out the Maximus. I have 3 cards left in hand. Yeah, I stopped both. Alright, we ashed the Brain Diffusion. Right, of course. So, even though we want to draw as many cards as possible, I don't really want my opponent to draw as many cards as possible. Well, my opponent to play as many cards. And we draw one of the the Garura. So we go Maximus, banish Garura, summon, and effect to put 2 cards from both extra decks into the graveyard. I'm like, sure. I have a couple of cards I don't really need for this matchup. Not playing the Fiendsmith variant. The extra egg is really loose, so that's pretty good to me. So we're going for the Albion and I cannot remember, the Striker Dragon, I think it is. And we set the Super Poly. We go end phase. Well, the funny thing was, my opponent was like, your turn, end phase. Like, sure. And we said, I think it's branded in red. And I draw for turn. So now we have 4 cards in hand, playing through this little board. And here, my opponent was playing a German Nadir Servant. And I was unsure whether or not it locked you out of the extra deck for the rest of the turn or for the next 2 turns. So I wanted to make absolutely sure. And this takes a couple seconds. So I'll try to Go a little bit ahead. Oh, that was too far. Anyway, we get it checked, and we special summon out the Fenrir. So even though we activated the Dominus Impulse from hand, we can still special summon the Fenrir because we cannot activate effects. Though we cannot search and we cannot banish. So this is just a 2400 beat stick. And, you know, kind of hoping my opponent didn't remember that I activated Dominus Impulse. Just because then the Fenrir is another threat. So we bonfire here for... I can't actually remember if I went for Snake Eye Ash or if I went for the Poplar. Considering that I do not remember what hand I had. I was thinking about whether or not I should, you know, write down what my hands were to get better knowledge of the gameplay to see if my plays were correct. But I'm pretty sure I have a normal summon hand, and therefore we're going Poplar effect in case it is getting disrupted. We want to, you know, keep playing as much as possible. We do not know if the opponent has impermanence or something like that. I'm pretty sure I'd have a Oak in hand, and therefore I think the Poplar is fine here. Because going for the Ash would stop us from normal summoning. I guess we still would be able to search the Poplar, but better going for Oak afterwards, making the Poplar soak some hand traps. I guess it would be the same. Now that I think about it, like if we normal summon Oak, I guess we'd be forced to send the Fenrir. Also, I threw away my fusion. Hey, that's me! The field spell, sorry. Just showing my opponent is still the same field spell. I grabbed off the floor. And here we go Poplar into Anima to, well, make our opponent regret where they place their monsters. And I go Poplar effect to set itself into spell trap zone, so I still have the card to throw away for Oak. And here my opponent are going Cartesia effect to fuse after I used the Anima effect, kind of forcing it. My opponent is kind of wondering about this. I think my opponent is kind of scared of the Fenrir, considering that we have now have the opportunity to have activated it if we did not log ourselves out of Earth. And we summon out Masquerade here, and I'm like, sure, that's fine. I'll take a couple hundred life points. I can play through this. I have like, what is it, 10, 12 activations before I lose enough life points. Won't really matter in the grand scheme of it. So we activate the field spell. I lose 600 life points. We can see here we've been through a couple games. For the day at least. And I make a mistake and not write the correct number. And I'm like, sure, whatever. I see we have a lot of light going on right now. Crazy. So we go field spell, search out the Diabell Star. The Diabell Star is pretty good in this build, considering that it is 2 buddies, I'd say. But we do not have the Poplar effect to put it back into the back row, so it's like, whatever. I wanted to note that my opponent also said during the start of it that he haven't played too much against Snake Eyes, so considering that I tried to play pretty quickly while trying to tell my opponent what my cards were doing. And of course my opponent here is looking for the Super Poly and what would be good with it. Here I normal summon Oak, no effect. I'm not sure whether or not I should have kept the Poplar and spell trap in the grave and saved it for later. Considering that Oak could have revived it, and if we did have if the opponent had an impermanence, I kind of stopped playing. So we go Ash effect to search, lose another 600. We search out the Birch, I'm pretty sure. Really like the extra name in the deck. And also the opportunity for it being an extender. I'm pretty sure the effect of it, well, the quick effect of it, to special summon from the deck or hand will never come up anymore. Even if it were ever coming up in the past, it won't come up ever after Ash and Poplar being limited, other than for some reason being forced into playing multiple Slam Purchase or something like that. Anyway, we go Diabellstar here, put the Poplar into the Spell Trap Zone just for next body. And my opponent's like, didn't you already use the Poplar effect? And I was like, yeah, this is the Diabellstar effect. And here we are reading. Nice back of the head, by the way. Getting the camera back into focus, thank you. So anyway, we go Ash effect. Getting the Flamberge back. Well, getting the Flamberge out. So here I'm not really considering that my opponent would have anything. Also remembering that my opponent never got back into their Fallen of Albas. So most of their fusion quick plays won't do much. But anyway, we go Branded in red. Stay sure. He adds back the Aluber and removes 3 to summon out the infamous Chimera. So he's able to draw 1, destroy 2. I'm looking at my hand like, yep, that's no Ash. That is alright. Like, it won't be much difference to me. Like, I'm forcing out the Branded in red here. With my Flamberge, and if it's removed, it gets bodies back. Like at this point, I'm just trying to figure out how to remove his monsters and back row. So anyway, now we have the Flamberge and the infamous Anima still in the field. Here we go Super Poly. Pitching the gold sarcophagus, and we are removing the Anima now. Talking of which, and the Chimera for Rego Stapelia. Stapelia target the Flamberge, so now it's level 1. And I'm like, sure, especially summon out Birch. Well, considering Birch only needs a fire no matter what. So it doesn't really matter whether or not it were level 1. Could it be kind of nice if it were forced to be level 1? So I'm like, okay, now I have 2 bodies. We can link off to anything. We go Heater. We go Flamberge effect. Summon out 2. I'm pretty sure we're going Ogre effect too. Yeah, we are. Very nice. And we link off. Like at this point, I'm just trying to finish the game. We have everything that we need. So we go Promethean Princess. Effect, summon out the Flamberge. Link away the Oak into the Raging Phoenix and linking that into Silantis. Like this is just regular combo. Looking at my last card in hand, making sure it is, for what I have seen earlier, a Backveiler, and I go destroy. My opponent's looking whether or not he have anything to protect. And I can see here he's looking at the, I think it was Striker Dragon. And again, considering he doesn't have a Fallen of Albas, this won't matter. And we go effect, summon back, and go for game. Pretty cleanly here, I'd guess. You could argue whether or not actually sending the Grangoignol to draw the Garuda to draw a card for the Nadir Servant was off, I guess. Considering that well, my opponent didn't know what I was playing, I'm pretty sure. So of course there is something to that, but you know, drawing a single card versus sending, I don't know, something else that could give you some advantage. I guess should still be banishing for Maximus. But yeah, making your Super Poly that you already have in hand more alive, if you could say it like that. And here I'm actually questioning, asking my opponent if he knew why I didn't activate the Fenrir at any point. I was like, yeah, why? And I showed the Dominus Impulse like outright. But anyway, So yeah, that's a consideration. I think the Super Poly would have been better there. So let's, instead of talking, skip a little bit ahead from the side decking. I think we're pretty close here. Yeah, we're cutting decks, and my opponent decided to go first. Surprisingly, again. Sure, draw 5. Opponent does the same. We see a Book of Eclipse. Yo, I actually did not expect a Book of Eclipse. So you can probably guess that the game is over before that. Anyway, we go Pot of Desires, banish 10. Looking at the 10, and I'm like, please be 3 Fallen of Albas. Could be pretty nice, just winning 2-0 in the finals here. And I go, sure. But we have no Ash. My opponent has plenty of cards in hand. But for the facial expression of my opponent, he's looking like, damn, I didn't get anything. I'm like, please do not have anything. I'm pretty sure I have nothing else, nothing at all to stop my opponent's plays. And I know my opponent is on Gimmick Puppet, surprisingly for a branded player. And, well, that is pretty much turn skipping if I cannot stop that. And I feel like no matter what, branded players will always get to the puppet. So here my opponent is looking at their hand, considering their plays. I'm like, sure, I'm pretty sure that with 6 cards, there's no way you cannot Gimmick Puppet like me. I just need to draw a card off the top of my deck that can stop this. That is like my Hail Mary. So we go normal summon Cartesia. Like, okay. I'm not sure whether or not we activate the effect here, just looking through the extra deck what we can do. And you know, I'm kind of enjoying my opponent not being too sure, because that feels like, you know, there's a bigger chance of them not having the card that they need. So we go Cartesia effect. Like, sure. You and Cartesia, and so we're looking at a Fallen of Albas and a Tragedy. Did there be a Tragedy? Oh, and a Ceremony. Interesting. And we're going for the Tragedy. Summoning out the Grand Wignol. I'm like, okay, now comes the puppet. Here comes the puppet. Puppet effect. I'm like, sure. And we go for the Albion. I'm like, okay, that's not puppet. Maybe there's a chance. And also, as you probably can see now, my opponent is on 60 cards. So it's not exactly the most consistent deck. But my opponent, before we started, told me that they were Gimmick Puppeting left and right today. I'm like, nice. Please don't do that to me. So we go for the Albion effect to put the branded fusion into the graveyard and putting itself back into the bottom of the deck. We banish the Tragedy. I'm like, huh? Pretty sure my opponent actually told me after this game that they banished the branded Retribution. But anyway, setting the branded fusion, I'm like, sure. Activating it, I'm like, sure. Okay. So even though my opponent were not looking too happy about their hand, they still got to it. And considering me not having any hand traps, I could not stop this from coming to me. Getting what I deserved, I guess. Getting what's coming to me, getting what I deserve, something like that. Sending Fallen of Albas and the Gimmick Puppet, I'm pretty sure. Still getting to it, unlucky. For the Lubellion. And Lubellion effect, discarding to fuse. Looking at my hand, making sure none of the cards actually changed into hand traps. Still no hand traps. Discarding the zero near. Banishing. Oh, sorry, shuffling. I think it's Cartesian Fallen of Albas. Or the Sanctifier. Like, okay. Okay, you got it. You got it out. Let me just top deck Dominus Impulse and I can win this, right? And we dump the brand opening for Serenia, right? About to say, I cannot remember what card this was, but of course it's Serenia. So another protection. I'm pretty sure the only card that would save me from here would be the Dominus Impulse. Top deck, my opponent goes Sanctify, I'm go like... Yep, that's Puppet. I'm not sure whether or not my opponent actually had to declare any cards, but I'm like, yep, this is it. So anyway, we're going straight into that important game 3. For once, I get to go first, so I'm pretty stoked about that. It's always good to go first, right? We always have cards here. We have 20 minutes on the clock. Should be plenty to finish the game. And I'm like, my opponent won't have any hand traps. My opponent's paying 60. I can play through everything. We go draw phase, wanted. Okay. Searching out the Snake Eyes Diabellstar because we already have the Diabellstar in hand. Just a little gimmick of mine. We go Diabellstar, summon out Diabellstar. Diabellstar summon out by sending the Diabellstar into the graveyard and effect to set. Imperm. Think? Or no, right, that's the ghost mono. And I go set one, Yugioh. They always have it. They always have it. So we're looking at a Foolish Burial, we're looking at a Super Poly, we're looking at the Dark Ruler no more. And I say, okay. So we're putting Tragedy in the graveyard, Tragedy effect to search. Say okay. Getting out the Aluber summon. I look at my hand and say okay. No imperm for you, boy. Either that I'm saving it, I cannot remember. Oh right, I don't play imperm in this. In this list I don't play imperm. We go Branded Fusion, I go no. He goes damn, that's unlucky. Shuffle my deck, pass back to you, I'm pretty sure. But that's, you know, that's branded. That's branded all in all, right? Negate the fusion, stop the plays. Set 1, set 2, go. Draw. 3 cards in hand, and we go. Witch, send out the Flamberge. Crazy hand. So I go Witch effect. We go Super Poly. Go sure. Sending out the Evenly. I'm like, okay, this guy just had it. He goes both the Bellstars, summoning out the Garura, and at this point, quite a lot of the time has gone by, and people are looking, being like, nah, that's not okay. You cannot do that. And I think he's looking through his text deck, be like, damn, I cannot. And people are reminding him that, of course, well, we are being reminded that he can use his own monster to fuse. So we go for the Quarantis, I think it is. That puts level 8 or lower non-fusions, something like that, to 0 attack. I'm like, sure. So we said, I think it's Deception we said. And I'm asking him what he discarded. It was Evenly. I'm like, good thing I didn't build a board, I guess. So we go Deception. go Deception, Tribute the Black Witch. Go for the Hallowed. Adding Hallowed, hoping for no draw. Going Hallowed. Reading Hallowed. And like at this point, I have a line. I'm knowing where I'm going. My opponent needs to read my cards. My heart is pounding. I'm like, please don't have anything else. Asking how many cards I have in hand. We each have 1 card in hand right now. I feel like I have plenty of time. Considering that game 2 was this fast, and I feel like I played pretty fast for game 1. Also think I asked for time at this point, so we're summoning out the Regulago, I think it is. Really weird name, Regulago effect. Searching out. I think I actually misplaced it for the zone, but pretty sure that doesn't matter here. We're going for original. We go Hallowed, bounce back. Opponent needs to reach again, it's all good. You know, the cards are new still, so we have plenty of time. We go Hallowed, not once per turn. That effect not being once per turn. We go Sylvia, we send the OSS. Opponent needs to read the Sylvia. It's Omni-negate, it's like, sure. Sucks. We go Banish OSS. Target the Diabell Star to put back. Also, I want to note at this point that OSS doesn't have to put the card into the bottom of the deck. So even if you target the Diabell Star and it gets banished by Bestial Recro, it will still search the card for you. So we go for Ash. We are installated. We go normal summon Ash. Ash effect. Search out the Poplar effect. Want to look at my opponent's graveyard, see if they have anything to summon back or disrupt me here. Pretty sure there's nothing. Poplar effect to search. Search out the Temple. Activate Temple. Making sure I do not have the Diabell Star in my graveyard. I do not want to make the tournament illegal play and look through my deck and try to summon from the graveyard. We're putting the Diabell Star into the spell trap zone. We go Ash, then 2, summon out the Oak. Oak effect, summon the Ash back. Like at this, my only problem would be Nibiru, but I'm sure that the Sylvia would be able to negate it. I'm not really thinking about the back row. It could of course be another Super Poly, but surely that won't be it. Actually cannot remember if we do know. We go IP, we go Poplar effect to put in the Diabell Star into spell trap zone. As I said before, it is an amazing card. Summoning out the Poplar, putting the Poplar into the spell trap zone. Making sure that I don't... Oh wait, I do have the Flamberge in graveyard. Before I go for Oaks, Sending and whatever. So we go straight into the Promethean Princess. Going for the Flamberge from the graveyard. Going for Flamberge effect, forcing out the Quarantis effect. Like, sure. Everything goes to 0. Putting into the spell trap zone. Linking away the Flamberge into the Raging Phoenix. Summoning back out the Oak and the Ash. And we go into Stellantis here. And we do not need any monsters on the field. We go Stellantis effect, everything refreshes. We go straight into Battle Phase from here. Plenty of damage, being most of the monsters are almost 2k. We go attack with the Sylvia, attack with the Ash, attack with the Oak. And that is game. So, pretty sure that is the cleanest way to do it. The last card in my hand, of course, doing nothing, I'm pretty sure. Cannot remember what it was. It is, of course, not important. I think I played to my best, considering the hands I were dealt. Of course, game 2 not really being a game, considering Gimmick Puppet is in the game, but that is whatever. Still have plenty of time left. Overall, pretty happy with this run. I am at some point in the future going to upload a deck profile of this Azamina Snake Eyes deck. Really looking forward to getting comfortable with it, or well, more comfortable with it. That being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're looking forward to me talking way more about these beautiful Snake Eyes cards. Surely not having been in the game for almost too long already. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Bye.